Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States. That's 10 AM if you're in Australia or 1 or 2 AM if you're in the UK and Europe. I hope you guys and girls are well. Remember, if you do miss a live stream, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel or going to my YouTube channel, which is /PhilDoes3D. Remember too, if you want to become a Phildo and join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, you can type !Discord in Twitch chat at any time to get a link, an invite link, or you can go to the About Me section and look for a blue graphic in my panels. That'll give you an invite link as well. Sniper Girl, it's good to see you. Who are you? It's been so long, I've forgotten. I hope you're doing well, Sniper Girl. And Tamana, thanks. Hi Tamana, how are you? And Sniper Girl subbed for 38 months. Man, thank you for the subscription, Sniper Girl. I do appreciate it. I love it when you guys sub to the channel. It is appreciated. So you're awesome, Sniper Girl. Thank you very much. You doing well? Hang on, what's going on here? She says, 2 decades later, you're streaming? I wasn't late, see was I? I was right on time. You're doing well, that's good to hear. Yes, thank you, Sniper Girl. I do appreciate the sub. How was the movie? Because Sniper Girl went to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse movie. I'm curious to see what it was like. The ads for it look pretty good. Like, the effects look like they're really well done. With Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch, or Cumber, whatever his name is. The English guy. Which I've always found really impressive, actually, because he has an English accent, but obviously when he plays Doctor Strange, he has an American accent. And I always thought he did his American accent quite well. I mean, I could be wrong, I'm not American. You Americans might have a different opinion, but it was good. Recommended? Well, there you go. Thumbs up from Sniper Girl for the new Doctor Strange movie. Not a typical Marvel movie. No, okay. Well, that's good, because I'm getting a bit sick of all the superhero movies. To be honest, I haven't watched the new Batman because I heard that was pretty boring. Android Lust, hey Android Lust, it's good to see you. Yes, it's morning for me, it's afternoon and evening for some of you, I know, around the world. So yeah, I'll probably end up going and seeing the new Doctor Strange movie. Because yeah, the ads for it do look pretty good, the effects look well done. And if it's not a typical Marvel movie, that makes it even more appealing for me. Because I don't know, there's been so many superhero movies over the last 3 to 5 years. It's just, it's insane. Too many. I did enjoy the Spider-Man movie, the new Spider-Man, but generally I wouldn't watch Spider-Man either because I'm a bit over that superhero, or Superman, or Batman. I'm over them all. Android Lost says to Sniper Girl, I'm better than Sunday. What was wrong on Sunday, Android Lost? I need another drink. Excuse me for 2 secs. It's very cold here today, actually. Whew. Which is good. I like the cold. Oh, yeah, she's saying, what happened on Sunday, or is that the day you hate? Yeah, what happened? Well, you're not well. Okay, so we're going to continue working on the House on the Hollow game. You can wishlist that now on Steam. You can find the Steam store link in the About Me section on my Twitch channel. Or if you're watching on YouTube, look in the description below the video you're watching. You'll find a link there to take you to the Steam store page. Android Lust says, Sunday I was just riding the struggle bus with X-Gen, completely my fault. Okay, so we're working on the main driveway to the Art Nouveau section of the level, so we're going to continue doing it today. Well, yesterday we were doing the fences, and we will continue with that today. So Yeah, I think I'll keep the fence line pretty tight to the drive here. I've just noticed actually that that one's okay. We may have to go in and make an alteration to the ivy for this part of the fence, because it's actually, this is part of the ivy I think that grows on the post, and it's actually growing on the fence here. Now I can't have that because when the gate's open, the ivy won't be attached to the gate, so the gate will go through the ivy and you'll have this bit of ivy sticking out, which won't look really good. Android Dust says something that normally doesn't happen with XGen and Maya, but yeah, it was completely my fault. Gotta love software. Gotta love the software. So, will I do the ivy before I continue with the fence line in case I forget to do it, which I know I will. And what do I want to do with the ivy? I've got a couple of options. I can completely remove it, which is probably what I'll do, because it's easier and quicker. I could separate it and attach it to the gate so it moved with the gate. That's another option. Let's jump into Max and let me have a look and I'll decide. I believe it's this one. Smurfberry fence, yes, Smurfberry fence. Well done. You are so observant. So yeah, we have this ivy on this part of the fence that's actually attached to the post. We can't have that, unfortunately, because yeah, otherwise when we open the fence, the ivy won't move. So I'm going to isolate these two pieces so that everything else is not in the way. Yeah, my options are to, well, we're going to have to separate it regardless, even if I remove it. So let's start with that.
I've been running around in circles, trying to find you, it's feeling eternal.
Okay.
I don't wanna live.
Yeah, that bit will have to come off as well. Not this bit though. Not this bit. These gates will open outward or inward? Inward, I imagine. Smiley Girl says, it's a fence, thought it was a gate. Well, you know, fence, gate. Smoothberry says it's hot, it's cold here. Android Lost agrees. Mr. Squarepeg, hey Mr. Squarepeg, how are you? Good to see you. So yeah, what am I going to do with this ivy? I think I'll have the gates open. Gates normally open inward, I think, don't they? Yeah, they open inward. So I can keep this bit of ivy, this little bit here that sticks out at the front, that can probably stay. So we want to remove that and that and that. We may just keep that. So if we keep that, we can detach do here is go into poly mode because I want to keep that part of the stem, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we can remove we can probably remove this. Whoop, wrong one. These. No, let me undo that. That was not what I wanted. So yeah, I'm going to detach this part of the ivy. So we've got that bit there and this bit here. Let's re-export this ivy, and so I can re-import it into Unreal. This is left post ivy. Sniper Girl says to Mr. Squarepeg, hi, Mr. Squarepeg says, doing good here. That's good to hear. Okay, so let's re-import the ivy. Left post. It was left post ivy, wasn't it? Yep. Left post. Let's re-import. So we want to get rid of this part of the ivy that grows on the that's growing on the actual gate. I can have a copy while it's doing that. There we go. And we'll double check because Unreal automatically reassigns collision, which we do not want. Good. Okay. So now we can open our gate without the ivy being attached to it. Now the other option I've got is to bring that piece that we separated all back into Unreal. And when I set up the physics on the gate, to actually attach that piece of the ivy to the gate. So it moves with the gate. Copy, Snurf. Yes, copy. We need a copy. Hey, Sniper Rico. It's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Yeah, again, for you, Sniper Girl, sorry last week, guys, I couldn't stream on the Wednesday because of the Tuesday for you guys in the US. Don't want to confuse you. Because my internet service provider went down. The whole east coast of the country with my ISP went down. So. Smurfery says, does it spark joy? Hugo, hey Hugo, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? I hope you had a good weekend and a good week. Good to see you, Hugo. Yeah, hang on, let me just have a look here. Fine and you? Yes, Hugo's asking. I'm good, thank you for asking. It's cold where I'm living in Australia at the moment because we're coming into winter, so it's nice and cold, which I like. I've got my kitchen window open, so there's a breeze blowing. It's a bit too cool, but anyway. Yeah, so I could bring that piece of ivy back in that we just detached from Max and attach it to the gate when I set up the physics. But to be honest with you, I really don't know if it's going to be worth the effort because this gate's going to open inwards and you're never really going to see it anyway, because as the player, you come at it from this angle. I mean, you might see it through the gate, I guess, but once the gate actually opens up, you're never going to see really that bit of ivy that's attached to the gate anyway. So I really don't know that there's really going to be much point in doing that. This side's okay, the ivy's not attached to the gate, that should be fine. I mean, screwing on the edge here, but that'll be fine, that won't be noticeable. So yeah, my executive decision made, nah, we won't be bringing that piece of ivy in because, yeah, once the gate's opened up, you're never going to see it. The other option I had was not to actually remove the ivy and have this half of the gate not open up when the player breached it. So, you know, the player would unlock the gate, but they'd only be able to open this half of the gate. That would have worked, but it gets a bit confusing as a game player if you come to a gateway, you use the key to unlock it, and then you find that you can't open this half. It's like the player might automatically unlock the gate and then try and open this half of the gate. Because basically what will happen is it'll be like the deco doors over here, where you've got two doors, the player has to click on each one to open each one individually. I mean, they don't have to, they could just open one and walk in, but if we don't do that with this gate and we keep half of it already completely locked all the time, it's going to confuse the player. Yeah, because they may come to the gate, they may unlock it, they may try and click this bit and it won't unlock. And they'll be thinking, well, is that a bug in the game or what? They may not even think to click this half of the gate, is what I'm saying. Trust me, some people are... Yeah, they'll click one half and they'll think it's locked and they can't open it, and it'll cause all sorts of issues. Smurf says, this does not spark joy. Sniper Echo says, nice to Sniper Girl. Can't wait to see that. Visual effects are amazing, I hear. Yeah, we're talking about the Doctor Strange movie. It does look good. The visual effects do look really good. I will see it. And she says, it's not a typical Marvel movie. Have you seen any of the series like WandaVision or What If? I have not. Sniper Echo says, cool, looking forward to it now. There is another movie that's just been released. It's an independent film made on a shoestring budget that people say is better than like The Matrix 4, which, you know, that's a low bar to set to begin with because it wasn't that great, Matrix 4, or Doctor Strange, but it's similar vein. What's it called? Everything Everywhere All the Time. I think that's what it's called. It's an independent film, but it got really good reviews. So I haven't seen it, but I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well. In the same sort of vein as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, or whatever it's called. So it's called Everything Everywhere All the Time. I'm pretty sure that's the title. Sniper Girl says, awesome, it's not needed, but you'll have some context that you won't have if you don't see it. Smurf says, haven't seen that one, but I've heard it's good. Yeah, it is supposed to be very good. It reviews really well. Okay, so we've removed the ivy. We're not going to reattach the ivy. We're going to have it so both sides of the gate can be opened once it's unlocked. Now, generally what we've done with the game is if you're coming up to a doorway like these doors, then it's a single click to open. But anytime we have anything exterior like gates, it's a click and drag. Now, hopefully that won't be confusing for the player, but we'll find out. So click and drag on external gates and doors, well, gates basically, and doors are all just one click to unlock and open. Make It 3D says, good lord, it's terribly wrong. Start over, you're fired. Sniper Girl says hi. Make It 3D says, is doing well, been very busy lately. Haven't we all? I don't know what it's like where you guys live and what country ever you're living in, but all we ever hear recently is staff shortages, lack of workers. So yeah, business in this country is screaming that they can't get enough staff. All sorts of businesses, not just one particular area. And it's because of, you know, the human malware caused people not to travel overseas, which caused people not to, take jobs overseas. And businesses will always complain about something, though. That's been my experience. But having said that, I do know that the Archviz and the games, well, we're busy at the game studio, but the Archviz studio is really busy too. That and the cost of living. They're the two things that are constantly being spoken about in Australia. That, everything's getting more expensive and wages aren't rising to meet demand, but the cost of living, so. Which is true. Inflation is very high at the moment. I know it's high for you guys in the US, it's high in Australia as well. And wages aren't keeping up with the increase in inflation. Smurf says, speaking of The Matrix 4, it had a budget of 190 million and a box office of 156 million. So they've lost millions, tens of millions of dollars because they didn't make back what they spent on it. The effects in it were really good. I can't fault the effects in The Matrix 4. It's just the story was so lame. So lame. Mega 3D says, we only have staff shortages because everyone thinks they're a wizard. I prefer the javelin. Oh, very clever, Mega 3D. Sniper Girl says, they say that here. It's all BS. I think it's BS as well. It's more like workers are not wanting to work for starvation wages. I agree 100% with you, Sniper Girl, 100%. At just over $7 for the minimum wage, you can blame them. I do not disagree. It annoys me when I hear these, it's usually business people complaining that they can't get staff, and they can't get staff because they don't want to pay them properly. And they're whinging because they can't import overseas staff and pay them next to nothing because these overseas workers don't know our laws. And we've had a whole series of court cases recently of big companies like, 7-Eleven, those sort of companies, employing staff and paying them under the award rate, which is against the law. But they can do it because these overseas workers don't know what their legal rights are and what they're entitled to. So yeah, these companies whinging they can't get staff. They can get staff if they pay them properly. Because they've been so reliant on overseas workers that they could exploit, and they're not happy about it. Well, I say, well, boo-hoo to you. If you don't want to pay your staff properly, you shouldn't be in business. It's as simple as that. The other argument is, if we pay them more, then the business will go out of business. I mean, well, fine, go out of business. Sorry, if your business is that borderline that you can't pay your staff a decent wage, you don't deserve to be in business. That's my 2 cents. Mega 3D says, we only have staff shortages because everyone thinks they're a wizard. Hang on, I read that. Smurfberry says, I know I'm a wizard. Android Lost says, minimum wage just isn't sustainable for anyone. They can feel like it will cost more to drive to work. Yeah, well, that's just it. And that's the problem at the moment with inflation. Inflation is like at 8% or something, over 8% in the United States. It's pushing towards 6% here in Australia, and wages have only risen like 2% in the last year. So effectively you're earning the same amount but going backwards because inflation, everything else is getting more expensive than what it used to be. So yeah, it's not good. And that's come about because of the human malware, the war, shortages in global supply because of the human malware and the war. So yeah, it's just a perfect storm of bad at the moment, and global warming actually as well, because that's caused problems for crops and all sorts of things around the world, so which has pushed the price of food up. All around, it's not good. But I agree, Andrew, at last, the minimum wage is not sustainable, particularly for you guys in the United States. It's just terrible. A minimum $7, as Sniper Girl said, for a minimum wage. It would cost more in fuel to get to and from work than what it would be worth working. It's terrible. Sniper Girl says to Andrew, can't even pay rent at minimum wage? No, you can't. Well, no, you can't. I mean, that's a human need. Basic human need is to put a roof over your head and have somewhere that, that you feel safe. Well, they call them the working poor for a reason, don't they? people on minimum wage are referred to as the working poor because they don't earn enough to actually survive on. And they work their guts out. It just sucks. It really sucks. It has to change. The world's... I mentioned this the other day that I thought it was obscene that some people are worth multi-billion dollars and there are people in the world starving. It's just... look, I don't know how you... I know a lot of you guys probably really love your sports stars, which is fine. But it really annoys me that sports people get paid tens of millions of dollars every year. And people like that, say, are a nurse or a cleaner, get paid minimum wage. I mean, the world is just whacked. It's out of whack. Really out of whack. That sort of thing really grinds my gears. It really annoys me. I don't mind you getting paid a good salary or even making multi-millions of dollars. That's fine. But, you know, when sports people get paid millions of dollars and nurses who keep us alive get paid nothing, or next to nothing, there's something wrong with society. Anyway. Andrew, sorry, where are we? Andrew lost degrees, not even close with rent at minimum wage. Smurf says Matrix 4 was simultaneously released on HBO Max, and I don't think any figures are available for that as part of the revenue numbers. I wonder how the other streaming services are doing. I've heard Disney Plus actually picked up a lot of subscribers. I know Netflix lost a lot, but I don't have Disney Plus. Although I think one of my I have what they call Fetch TV, which is like cable but delivered via, like YouTube cable service, video service, whatever it's called. And I think they have a deal going at the moment where I can get 2 months of Disney Plus for free. I might look into that, see what it's like. Snuffy Girl says, my argument is supply and demand. If supply of workers is low, then shouldn't the pay be raised to meet demand? No, I don't. I agree. I agree 100%. She says, what really annoys me is that we make enough food to feed every single person on the planet, and yet we don't due to capitalism. It's obscene the amount of food that gets thrown away in the Western world, you know. We do have people starving in the world, and there's food that just gets tossed out. Either because, you know, maybe it's an apple that isn't perfectly apple shape or whatever, and we don't want to buy it, so they end up tossing them. Not just that, but just general food wastage is just, yeah. I don't know. You know, we have a problem with obesity in the Western world. So people eat too much and too often. And then the other extreme, we have people in the world that are starving to death. I mean, I don't know how that works. I mean, you know that there's something wrong when that sort of thing is going on. And it's been going on for decades and decades. So, all right. So I guess now that we've fixed the ivy, we can move on to setting up the rest of this fence line. Smurf says due to politics. Yeah, politics and, what's the word I'm looking for? Politics and corruption. Politics and corruption. That's the reason the world's the way it is. Smurf says D plus has strong numbers, I've heard. What's D plus? I'm not sure what that is. What you mean? What you're talking about, Smurfberry? Okay, so the fence line. Oh, Disney Plus. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I heard that they picked up a lot of subscribers in the last month or so. Maybe all the people that left Netflix went to Disney Plus. I don't know. You're just talking, yeah, okay, fine. It's abbreviation business. You confuse me. You're all confusing me. Hey, Kamal, it's good to see you, buddy. Kamal says, hello, Phil. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too, Kamal. I know it's very late where you live, So I appreciate you always popping into the channel, Kamal. Sniper Girl says to Smurfberry, so you're not talking about the big D then, got it. You guys keep it clean. So yeah, our fence line, if we jump into max, I think what we'll do with the fence is we've got these curb bits at the front. So I need to duplicate a curb bit for the end here. I think we've only got these 2 bits, is that correct? Or did I do a curve? Yeah, no, I haven't done the curve yet, so let's do that. So we're going to duplicate this post, this, and the curve section. Again, this flickering you see, this is the actual, you can actually see the what they call clusters on this nanite geometry. So it breaks up the geometry into clusters, and that's what all this flickering is. All of these little, they look like cracks in everything. They're the clusters. Okay. So we have that curved piece, and then we want to duplicate this one for the other side. I'm going to do this before I attach the rest of the ivy. We'll do that in 2 seconds though. Okay. So how close do I want to run this fence line? I think we'll give it a little bit of garden in here on either side, so we won't run it directly from here because it'll be really right up to the edge of the drive. I don't want it quite that close. So I think from here we will run a straight section out this way. I think that's probably the best way to go. So let's duplicate these. And rotate it. And again, we're working in this like modular format, which again is best for if you're working with the Unreal Engine 5 and you want to use Nanite, you want to use Lumen. Breaking everything up like this is the best way to go. It's just the way I generally always work anyway, even before UE5 and Lumen. Okay, so we have we'll bring in a straight section, or will I bring in another curve section? I could do actually a curve I think might look more interesting, so let's duplicate this one. And we can, I guess, curve it this way. Do I want 2 curve sections though? That's the question. Kamal says to Sniper Girl, hey, it's a long time not seeing. Yeah, she hasn't been in the chat for a while. She doesn't love me anymore. Probably been watching some other streamer. No, how's the exam stuff going, Sniper Girl? Because she's doing a test for her license for her drone license. How's it all going? Have you done it yet, or are you still studying? Smurf says 3. You're a madman. I'm going to try and work out how I want to do this corner. I'm just not sure that I like the double curve like that. I think it might be better if we go with a straight. It's actually a little odd too, because we are sort of like, if we look at the decoration here, we're sort of cutting it all, which we could get away with, but it's not really ideal. So I think what we might do is we might smooth this out. We might go with a straight section. So actually that's not going to be ideal either. We might not have a choice. I want to bring the fence line out to about here. Let's duplicate this straight section. We'll see what we can do. We'll play around. That's half the fun anyway. So we can bring it in. Oops. You unreal, you're driving me to madness. You are driving me to madness. With the straight section, we can probably hide that half circle a little bit anyway by pulling the gate to do it. See if we, so long as we don't go too far, we can just hide it. And then we can add another curved section, I think. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Let's do that. So let's duplicate this one and this one. And then we can add the curve. So that takes us out to about here. I'd actually probably like to go a little bit further out, maybe. Maybe not. Kamal says to Smurf, hey dude, what's up? Sniper Girl says, still got to study. I'm very bad at procrastination. Well, there's no rush, is there? Take your time until you feel ready. Actually, I'm quite impressed with the new DJI Mini Pro 3, I think it's called. It's a pretty interesting looking little drone. not incredibly expensive. I think it's about $800 US. It's a tiny drone, but it has a good camera in it. It looks impressive from what I've basically quickly read up about it. Smurf says to Kamal, not much rereading my camera's manual. Kamal says Sony is a nightmare interface. Sony and it's a nightmare interface. Smurf says I would do no more than 2 curved sections. Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't want to do 2. I think breaking it up with a bit of a straight section here makes it look more interesting anyway. Which was always my intention to do it this way. But I just thought we'd see what it looked like because it's easy to move around. So. Smurf says true. Kamal says easy way to use a Sony camera is it on A mode. So we've come out. We've got a curve. We can either go straight now, or I can come out one more and then with a curve. If we go straight, that'll give me. It probably will give me enough. I don't want a huge amount of room through here. Inside the gate. I just want enough that I've got a little bit of room to play with to place some plants and stuff on the outside. So let's go straight again. So we want. I'm going to duplicate these. And we're going to rotate them. Whoops. Let's move it in, and we need to move it forward until we're about the middle of the post. Okay, and then we'll get us straight section again. Yes. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, yeah, that should just give us enough room. It's going to be close to this edge when we go through, or unless we throw another curve in, which we could do. So we've got curve, we've got straight, we curve around. Let's keep going. Let's keep going straight and we'll see how much room we have. So let's duplicate this one and this one. Oh man. So curve there, curve there. I think Smurf says I've got full manual. I've gone full manual these days unless I'm stuck by a moment of laziness. It's always better to do it manually. I mean, the automatic modes on cameras do a good job, but doing it manually is always the best. Kamal says, do Sony have focus peaking? Smurf says they do. Yeah, so straight, curve. I'm just got to sort of like gauge how I'm going to end it over here. I think what we might do is we might start at this end and start bringing it around. That'll give me a better idea of how I want to join these two pieces up. They're not going, I guarantee that they're not going to join up on first go. We're going to have to move some stuff around. We'll see how we go. So for this bit here, I think I'm going to go straight and then curve in. So I probably want we'll probably go with a copy you, and 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 you. We'll go from there. We'll see how we go. Is that right? Is that what I want to do? In fact, we might not take... Oh, man. So we want that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Yeah, let's see what that does. So let's duplicate this. I want to rotate it 90 degrees. And we'll bring the fence line up behind here. We'll go as close as possible. I have to make sure that I make an allowance for the hall section I've got to put behind here. So we may have to move the fence a little bit once we start setting that up. We'll see how we go. So I think if I move that to here, and then I move that into here. See, this is what I was afraid of. We're going to have to extend it a little bit. But before we do that, let's duplicate. Let's duplicate this one. Whoop, I moved that by mistake. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Oh, we'll grab that as well. So let's duplicate that. And let's rotate it 90 degrees. Let's line it up. And move it over. Don't think it's lined up correctly. Let me just redo that. Oh, no, it is. It's lined up correctly. I know that our hallway that goes through here comes out to about, the walls start about there, so we should be fine. We won't interfere with the gate. See if we can't bring it over a bit more. Maybe a bit too much. Let's bring it back. Back a little bit more. That should be good. Snappy Girl says, and you, and you, and you, and you. Kamal says, I use old Soviet lenses on my Fuji. Tasty, he says. I have a Fuji camera as well, DSLR. That's my old camera. It was a Fuji. I've since bought a new one that's not Fuji. So yeah, these sections here, we've got a couple of options. We can go with a curve, which might look interesting, because otherwise we're going to hit the driveway. We can either go with a curve, or we can remove this piece and extend there. Just trying to work out what would look better. So if I go with a curve, then we can go that way. Or if I rotate that, we can start going that way from there. What would be best? Let's put a curve section in and see what it looks like. I'm just worried it might be looking a little bit crowded through here if I do that, but we'll see. We'll put a curve in and we'll see. So let's duplicate. We're going to need a post in the base anyway, so let's grab that, and duplicate it. We want to rotate. How do I want to rotate this? So we can go like that and then do straight. Might not be too bad. Von Buki! Hey Von Buki, it's good to see you. How are you? Kamal says, Phil is also from Fuji family. Yes, I do have a Fuji DSLR. But Bambuki, it's good to see you. I hope you're well. We're just trying to work out my fence line here. Bambuki says, hi mate, how goes the environment? Building well, we're getting there slowly but surely. We're doing the driveway section here at the moment. And yeah, I've just got to try and work out how I want to run this fence line. I don't actually mind it coming in close to the drive there like that. It sort of helps to draw the eye toward the main entryway here, as opposed to extending the fence line out here by bringing it forward. It's sort of like it draws you in. So I quite like that. So we might keep it like that, I think. Bonbuki, what's going on? Snow says, Phil has like 30 cameras. I do not have 30 cameras. Bonbuki says, when you get a chance, check out, you put the link in. Remember guys, unless you're a sub to my channel, do not post links in Twitch chat. You will get timed out automatically by the bot. If you want to post a link, post it in the Discord server. If you're a sub, you can post links, but unless you're a sub, you can't. In Twitch chat. Yeah, actually, he's talking about 90 Days in Unreal 5. It's a series of stuff that was put together, a video that was put together by different people that used Quixel to make environments, and it look really cool. I have actually checked it out before. It does look very cool. So sorry, Von Buki. Yes, it's the Nightbot. Nightbot's a naughty little bot. Yeah, it's a thing that I said. It's been set up that way so that subs have something that other people don't. So only subs can post in Twitch chat. It's sort of like a security thing as well. But yeah, it stops spam and all that sort of stuff. Spam bots. Thank you. Smurf permitted Von Buki to post a link. So yeah, if you do have a link and you're not a sub, the moderators can permit you to post a link, but you've got to tell them before you post the link. Because if you don't and you do it too many times, well, then you'll get timed out and you won't be able to post anything in the chat. So be careful. Yeah, it's a link that is basically a series of different projects that were done where people use Quixel Megascans to create environments using the Unreal Engine 5. And some of them are really beautiful. Von Biggie says it's all good. It has some incredible work. It does. I've actually checked it out. I checked it out a few days ago. It does look good. It has some incredible work. There's one where the water terrain edge is chef's kiss. So yeah, do check it out because there is some beautiful work in that video. Okay, so yeah, I quite like the fact that we're curving the fence in. It helps to draw the eye into the entryway. I was just worried it's starting to get a little busy, but I don't think it is. I think we should be okay. So let's duplicate that. So sort of like I can stay symmetrical as I work. That's not going to work, is it? Well, it will if I, yeah, let's duplicate it. And then we want to do a transform on the X, I believe. Yep. And let's move that over to this corner. Now that's interesting. Why is that? I've just noticed that we're not complete. I think it's because this is angled, yeah, probably. I was just curious as to why they weren't completely in alignment. This is about right. Let's just make sure we're lined up correctly. I'm going to pull back so I can get a bit more of an overview of what's going on. Andrew Loss says, I'm going to look at it after the stream. Yeah, do check it out. In fact, I will post what you've just typed here when you get a chance. I'll post this in the Discord, in the general chat. Just for anyone else that isn't in the stream today and might want to look at it. So I posted your post in Discord, Von Buki. Smurf says, when was the last time you... Oh, that's a very good point, Smurfberry. I haven't saved for quite a while. Let's do a save and I can have some coffee. Good point. Although Unreal has been pretty stable. I mean, yeah, well, stable now that there's a bug in the NVIDIA driver. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card and you're working a 3000 series card and you're working in the Unreal Engine 5, there is a bug in the driver that NVIDIA have yet to address where it will crash Unreal. Now, I work around that by using a separate commit, a cherry pick a commit that was done by another guy that fixed the problem in the engine itself in Unreal Engine 5. It's not part of the Epic version of the engine you download to compile. It's a separate fork where a guy fixed the problem, which so I cherry picked that fix and incorporate it into the build of the Unreal Engine that I compile, which stops the problem. But until NVIDIA fixed the problem. But having said that, the Unreal Engine has been pretty stable anyway. So it's an NVIDIA bug, not an Epic bug. It's a little bit annoying because NVIDIA listed it as an open issue when they released not the recent driver but the one before, but then they removed it. And they removed it without fixing it, basically because they said that they couldn't reproduce the error. Now, I find that very hard to believe. It's not difficult to reproduce. All you have to do is be on Windows 11, have a 3000 series NVIDIA graphics card, and install the latest version of their driver with the Unreal Engine 5, and you will get crashes. It's a device hung or device lost error, direct 3D error, and it's to do with transient memory aliasing. If there's a problem with transient memory in the driver that's causing the issue. So NVIDIA, you've got to fix it. It's an issue. Whether you can reproduce it or not, I'm telling you it's an issue. Other people are telling you it's an issue. It's not that difficult to reproduce. Unless you're running everything in a virtual machine to do your testing, which I have no idea how NVIDIA do their testing. My suggestion would be to get some hardware and test it yourself. It's a problem. Don't tell me you can't reproduce it. It's an error in your driver. Come on, NVIDIA. You've got smart people. You can work it out. So thank you for the reminder, Smurf, to save. Bumbuki says you'd enjoy a designer I've only just found out about, James Mont, designer for mobsters and celebrities, 1930s and 40s, Hollywood Regency style. I would like that, actually. You're right, Bumbuki. I like that period. The Art Deco, Art Nouveau era, I love. I mean, I like Gothic architecture. That's probably my favourite. But yeah, I do like the Deco and Nouveau period as well. Kamal says YouTube link is amazing, so sad to be far from that skill. Well, just keep at it and you'll get to that skill. Remember too that they're using Quixel Megascan, so a lot of that stuff is photogrammetry. It's not something people have modeled by hand. It's stuff that they've used photogrammetry to capture with their camera and turn into 3D. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're talented people that put it all together to make the environments, but the actual models themselves are photogrammetry. So. Bombiki says, did interiors for Speakeasy made furniture with hidden compartments for drugs, guns and money? Andrew Loss says to Kamal, sometimes I think that feeling never goes away regardless of skill. Look, I agree. It doesn't ever go away. And that's a good thing. Because you always want to be pushing yourself, don't you? It's always good to keep pushing and pushing. And the more you do it, the better you'll get anyway. Just practice. Time and practice, that's all it is. Because yeah, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to do. You get color schemes and design and all that sort of stuff becomes easier the more you do it. Because I know I get a lot of questions about, how do you know what colors look good together? And that's sort of something that after you've done it enough, you don't even really think about anymore, because you just sort of like get a sixth sense as to what will look good, what color schemes will look good together. And that's something I've noticed because I do mentor a lot of junior 3D people at the ArchViz studio. Something that they sort of struggle with sometimes, that they have a bit of an issue with, is working out color schemes. But again, yeah, the more you do it, the easier it'll get. And then it just becomes like second nature. You don't really even think about it. Android, Kamal says to Android, Lust sounds strange, but right. So now we've got to try and marry these two fences together, and this is going to be a real... This will be interesting to see how Phil can go about doing this. But we're going to start with a straight section, I think. So let's duplicate this and this. And rotate it 90 degrees. So we're going to go with a straight section. If I can see what I'm doing amongst all of these little trees and stuff in the way. I'll do my best. It's not like I can even really remove the trees because they're procedurally generated, so... Well, easily remove them. I can remove them, don't get me wrong, but easily remove them while we work. I really can't because of their procedural nature. Okay, so, and then we're going to go with a straight section. So let's duplicate this one. And rotate it 90 degrees. Let's line them up. Alright, so we have a straight section. And somehow we've got to get from there to there. So we're going to have to go with a curve. Yeah. So let's duplicate this and this. We'll rotate it. Will we rotate it? Oops. I guess we should rotate it 90 degrees. Let's line it up. I'm just going to go into unlit mode so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, back into lit mode because I know how much we all hate unlit mode. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Trying to get these two fence sections to merge. So then we're going to have to go with a curve. Bombuki says to Kamal, it's meant to inspire. Those environments are made by some of the best in the industry in the world. That's the other thing to remember when you look at all this amazing work that people post as well. These are the best of the best in the world. So it's not like, yeah, you're looking at a worldwide community of the best with a lot of this stuff. So you should never feel too bad because, yeah, you're looking at the cream of the crop in the world. Generally. So let's duplicate this curve section here. Let's rotate it. So I'm going to bring it in, bring it over. So many bushes and trees in the way. Just got to get an angle on this where I can see it properly. Okay, it needs to come forward a little bit. Probably a bit too much. Let's take it back a little bit. And that should be good. Okay, now how far out are we? Let's pretend that big tree is not there for the moment. Yeah, you see where I think we're going to be close as far as alignment goes. We will be close. So let's I'd actually like to put a curve in here, I think. So we go curve, straight to curve, and then straight to it. I'd like a curve. I'd like to sort of push the fence line out just a little bit in there instead of going like straight across, which we could do, but it's a little boring. Putting a bit of a curve in here might look interesting, but we do want to start with a straight piece. So let's duplicate this one, and this one. This will show me how far out of alignment or in alignment I am. Ooh, we are close. So basically, we're just out of alignment just a little bit. There's a couple of ways I can probably fix that, so let's start by getting the design down pat first. It's not really enough room for me to put two curved sections in there, I don't think. Android Lost says Android Lost hates the unlit mode. Everybody hates the unlit mode, don't worry. Smurfberry says move the tree. Yes, I will move the tree, don't worry. Let me just get the fence line sorted first and then we can move the tree. Kamal says the Bombuki, yeah, absolutely right. You know, a person sometimes feels alone, but I know I have friends here who support each other. That's a wonderful treasure. That's right, we do support each other. There's a lot of good 3D people on Twitch though. Don't think that I'm the only one on Twitch you can watch. But I do appreciate you being here. But yeah, no, the Discord is there. So if you ever get stuck with anything, you just jump on the Discord server and ask a question. Or you can ask me in chat while I'm streaming live. That's never a problem. We're all here to help each other. I'm not saying I know everything either. I mean, I always learn new things every day and that's a good thing. Kamal says, is anybody interested in resin 3D printers? I don't know if Euro's not in here, but I think Euro uses a 3D printer. I'm not sure if it's resin, but yeah, I'm not sure, but he's into 3D printing. So when Euro's next in the chat, you can have it. I don't have a 3D printer, but yeah, no problem. Kamal Smurf says, I don't have a ventilated space where I could put a printer. I never thought about that. How much what they give off because they're melting whatever that resin is. So yeah, I guess it might have might be a problem if you're in an enclosed space or something. Something I've never even thought of. Good point, Smurf. Wambuki says, a reminder to anyone doing 3D, take time out every day to spend 30 minutes outside in the sunshine. And also remember to get up regularly from where you're sitting and stretch. Just take a 5-minute break after an hour or two that you've, since, you know, sitting at a monitor, regardless of what you do, not even 3D. But if you sit and look at a screen all day long, every couple of hours, just get up and stretch and move around. Is always a good idea. Occupational health and safety. So good point, Bonbuki. Android Lust says you can make a bench rig for those. Oh, okay. Talking about the 3D printer and the stuff it gives off. Sniper Girl says to Kamal, honestly, yes, I'm looking at eventually getting a 3D printer, thinking resin. Kamal says to Bonbuki, my skin gets white. My mum warms me sometimes. Remember, don't get too much sun though. We have a problem in Australia where it gets very warm in summer and very hot. And skin cancer is a big problem in Australia because Australians do love to go out in the sun. So yeah, by all means, you need sun to get your vitamin D, I believe you get from the sunlight. But don't overdo it. Don't get too much. Can be dangerous. That's why I'm as pale as anything. Android Lust says 30 minutes of death if you go outside in the summer. Yeah, 10 minutes in Australia in the middle of summer. Bumbuki says I just go grey. Snappy Girl says to Kamal, my skin is pale white, part Irish, so that's my excuse. Well, I'm part British, so that's my excuse as well. That's why I'm so pale. Mercury says, I blind people with my legs. I'm just uniformly pale and white everywhere. So yeah, we're nearly in alignment there, but we don't have enough room to do a curve through there. So, what I could do, we could do it through here. I could substitute this straight with a curve. That might work. Okay, curve, and then this side straight, and this one we curve in. See, all of the others here we're curving out, but here I've decided to curve in to draw your eye here. So then we could go straight, and then we could go curve out or in? Curve in. So curve in, and then, no, we probably want to go curve out. Yeah. So let's just get rid of this piece. And let's duplicate this piece. So yeah, we'll curve out. Curve out would be better. So let's bring this piece over and in. I'll just bring it over a little bit more. Actually, too much back there. So curve, be straight, then we want to go curve. Can't see the gate, there it is. So curve, so we want to go another curve on the other side, so let's duplicate. Actually, before I do that I need to add a post, I think. Yeah, actually Smurf is correct. I'm going to have to move this tree, it's completely in the way. So let's just quickly jump into the foliage mode is what I want. Select. Let's just move this tree. I'm just going to bring it forward for now. Sniper Girl agrees with Smurfberry about the legs. Smurfberry says, "Bruh, it's going to be like 85 or 95 later this week. It's not even June yet." Kamal said, "Well, yeah, our summer was long and it was hot and it was muggy." So I think that's what Australia's summer just gone was like: hot, long, and muggy. Maybe that's a pretense to what's going to happen in the US. I don't know. Kamal says, "The Sniper Girl, it's genetically acceptable. I still look into brands. I can share my thoughts with you if you wish." Sniper Girl says, "Honestly, just started looking at them." Bonbuki says, "Also, the red wavelength of sun through your eyelids is good for eye health. Helps both ability to discern colour and contrast." I didn't know that. Kamal says, "I don't like the sun. It's an unnecessary thing. You need some sun. You'll die if you don't get some sun." Yeah, I think it's vitamin D you get from the sun. Sniper Girl says the same. The sun and me don't agree. Smurfberry says, "At least I don't live near the big wildfire areas." Yeah, we didn't have bad fires this summer gone. Normally we do in Australia. It was surprising. That didn't happen this summer, but man, we got a lot of flooding actually. Flooding was the problem this year in Australia with summer. Lots of flooding. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this post and the base. Let's get this lined up. And then we're going to throw a curved section here. So we will duplicate. Oh, hang on, let me get these lined up correctly, I think. Actually, what I want to do is I want to keep this out of alignment just for the moment while I get this part lined up, and then we'll tackle this bit here. It'll be easier that way. So then we want to go with a curved piece. So I'm going to duplicate, I guess, this one. And we want to rotate it 90 degrees. Now, why are you not lining up? You should be lining up. What have I done wrong? So I want them to line up there, which means this section needs to come in, I think. Let me get this section lined up, then we can look at what's going on there. So I want to duplicate this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Move it back. I knew getting this fence line done was going to be challenging because of the shape of the drive section we have to work around. We're not too far out though, as far as this goes. What we can probably do is we can select this and this, and we'll bring that over. This and this, and bring it over. that one and that one I think are lined up. And then that means this one here is just a little bit too short. So all we're going to do is we're going to do a non-uniform scale in the X. People won't notice that it's been scaled because it's in this corner. And it's only a little bit anyway. It's not like it was scaled up massively. So make sure I get it completely between those two pieces. So yeah, people aren't going to notice the scaling difference there. So that gives us a little bit of play for our garden. Now we have to work out the alignment here, but before I do that I'm going to duplicate it for the other side. Just make my life easier. So we're up to the curve. How are we going for time? Bombuki says no fires, we drowned everything instead. Kamal says I sometimes hear Australia's hot weather here. I started to wonder how it is. It's horrible. Summer in Australia is horrible. Absolutely horrible. I hate it. Some people love it, but I hate it. It's too hot. Too hot. Way, way, way too hot. Bombuki says hot enough to melt your sneakers to the footpath. It does get that hot in Australia. You could cook an egg on the you know, on the bonnet of your car. It gets that hot in Australia. Particularly, like you guys know, sometimes they send me out to the middle of nowhere, which is next week. I'm not streaming next week, guys. I have meetings all week, mainly at the Archviz studio, but I've got a couple at the game studio as well. And I think they're going to be sending me to, you know how they send me to those mines in the middle of Australia where it's like 50 degrees Celsius or 55 degrees Celsius. I think that's where they're sending me. At least 1 day or 2 days next week. So this is the Archviz studio. So I'm so looking forward to that. So yeah, no streams next week, but I'm back the week after. Kamal says, for example, can you cook an egg on a rock? You probably could if it was like a black rock, like a dark coloured rock, so it attracted the heat. I know you can on like, you know, it gets very hot in Australia. Bombuki says easily. Kamal says, Bombuki, oh my, Bombuki says, I think the hottest I've been in was... Kamal says, once I heard that girls go to university with... No, that's not true. Girls do not go... Well, not in Australia, maybe in the United States, but yeah, no, girls don't go to the university in bikinis in Australia. That's not true. That's a myth. We don't have kangaroos hopping down the street. We don't all have koalas in trees in our backyard. That's just all. It's a myth. If you're talking about Australia, that is. Bombuki says about 44 degrees Celsius, which is almost 112 Fahrenheit. Android Lust says, I don't want to live like that. Bombuki says, if you breathed in through your nose, it hurt from the moisture boiling off. Ooh. Kamal says, damn. Bombuki says, the mines where Gina keeps her slaves. That's exactly right. Chained naked to rocks underground. I'm surprised you know about Gina Reinhardt. Yeah, she's she owns a couple of iron ore mines here in Australia, and she's a nasty piece of work. Really nasty piece of work. What is it about Australia? We have we produce some really nasty people. Like Rupert Murdoch's a horror. Tony Abbott is a horror. He was recently in Britain. He's back in Australia now. Gina Reinhardt, she's a horror. We have some horrible, horrible, very wealthy people that come from Australia for some reason. They're the exception, not the rule though. Most people in Australia are very nice. So you are correct, Bombuki. Smurf says, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if there were bikini students in Florida. Yeah, see, I don't know about the US. Bombuki says, we did have parking meter girls in Queensland who worked in bikinis. Really? Well, that's Queensland. I'm from Queensland originally. I live in Melbourne now. But I was brought up in Queensland, so it doesn't surprise me. I know what Queensland's like. Andrew Lust says, I saw videos of kangaroos fighting in the street. Well, It's unusual. Maybe it might happen occasionally, but you're not going to get kangaroo, particularly not where I live in inner city of Melbourne. You're not going to get kangaroos hopping down the street. Trust me. You're not going to see a kangaroo. They are around, out in the country, but not in the city. Not unless they escape from a zoo or something. Yeah, no, you're not going to find kangaroos hopping around the streets. At least where I live in the inner city, so it's not going to happen. Now, yeah, let me get the fence line in on the other side, and then we can look at trying to make sure it's all lined up correctly. So, pardon me. So we're going to want to copy from here and here. That bit. Excuse me a sec, guys. Something stuck in my throat. I talk too much, that's the problem. And then we want this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. This one. These. And then this one, and this one. And I'm up, so I've got the curve going out on that side. So the curve going out on that sip. Actually, yeah, we'll just copy this one. Did I get that post? No. This. Nah. This one and this one and this one. There we go. I think that's everything I need from that side. Yes. So let's duplicate all of that. Bring it in. And again, we want to transform it on the x-axis. So that's got to go all the way out to around about there. Again, don't worry about the ground level here. We'll fix all of that because it's sort of floating up in the air here at the moment. Once we get the fence line done. So, just gotta make sure it's over in the right spot. I think it needs to come over just a little bit more. Alrighty. So now we've just got to join up that edge to there. So for that we're going to duplicate this bit, this bit, this one, and damn, this one and this one. So let's duplicate that and mirror it on the X. Kamal says, I like Nordic countries, cold devil's lands. Yes, I'd love to live in like Finland or somewhere. Finland looks quite beautiful. Von Buki says, I saw a snake, Phil, in a small park near the Sydney Casino. Now that's rare. That is rare. That is incredibly rare. I haven't seen a snake for years because I've lived in the inner city for years in Melbourne, and yeah, you don't see snakes generally. I used to see a lot when I lived further out in the outer suburbs of Melbourne. I won't say a lot, but yeah, I used to live out in a house in the outer suburbs, like about an hour and a half's drive from the city centre. And there was a lot of wildlife out there, but since I've been living in a city, I haven't seen that much. Particularly parrots. There used to be a lot of parrots out there, which you don't really see a huge amount of in the inner city. We do have some parrots, but not as many as in the outer suburbs. Okay, so how are we going to reconcile these two pieces? It's out of alignment more than I thought it was. So I'm just trying to work out the best way to actually get these to align. So this one's not out of alignment as much. I think the issue here is the gate is actually on an angle. It's not squared, whereas the fence line is squared. So we're going to have to be creative here somehow. Almost like we could completely remove this curved section and have the two straight sections join. That might be an option. So this one, it's on the out, it sticks out past the edge, and this one, it also sticks out past the edge. Let's see if we can line them up. I don't know that we can because it is quite a misalignment just there. It's quite a gap. Snappy Girl says LOL. Smurf says this is what happens when you don't work on the grid. Tut tut. We can't really do that with this. It's not even, it's not even aligned to 90-degree angles anyway. This entryway is not at a 90-degree angle. It's sort of like off a little bit, and that's to match the drive, the angle of the drive, so that the thing was directly in the middle from the path that we have here. We can make it work, don't worry. Kamal says to Bombiki, what about spiders? Kamal says, I like spiders, they're all my children. Kamal says, are parrots free? They are free. We have parrots that fly free in Australia. Lots of different parrots, and they're beautiful, beautiful colours. Vicky says, I'm trying to entice our local gang of lorikeets to visit my balcony regularly. Well, they're noisy birds, those lorikeets. It's about 20 birds. Nix Low says, amazing vegetation. Is it from Megascan? No, this is not Megascan. No, not at all. The vegetation is most of it's done in Speed Tree, actually. And the fence is not Megascan either. It was created by me, actually, and textured up by me. You guys saw me doing it live on stream. So yeah, I've got to try and align this fence line up. So what can I do? What can I do? It sticks out a little on both sides. Let's try work with one side first and we can worry about the other side later. I can... Well, I guess what I could do... This is where we're going to have to get creative with our scaling. Let me remove this tree because it's sort of like getting in the way and it's annoying me. So I'm just going to just move this tree out of the way. Or out of the fence line anyway. So I think what we'll do here is we'll get rid of this curve section. We will scale this section up. I'm going to get rid of this corner post as well. Let's move this corner section over. Whoops, did not mean to do that. There we go. And that will allow us to scale this section up.
I remember Virginia Beach, the way it's crashing. Memories so hard to believe. You're no longer with me. Told me to wait by the ocean. Falling deep, you were floated. I remember.
What I might do with this is I might do two. I'm going to scale, instead of scaling it up, I'm going to scale it in. It'll be less noticeable that way. And we'll duplicate it. Both need to come up just a little bit bigger. So let's do that.
Fingers trace when you would sleep beside me. Conversations in
Okay, so we have that one aligned.
body to body. A sudden hit to my blind side.
Let's look at the other side.
I couldn't find. I remember
We don't have as big a gap for this one.
nothing's gonna break us. This love will make us.
So we're going to lose the corner, so it's the same as the other side.
Nothing's gonna break us. This love
We will
nothing's gonna break.
we'll keep, let's remove this corner post. Let's scale this one up. No, other way.
Just that moment with you, just that moment with you, it's all I really need.
Let's move this. That'll give me a good gauge as to how big I need to make this. And then we'll do what we did in the other side. We'll scale this one in a little bit. And duplicate it. Scaled it in a bit too much. just a little bit bigger. Okay. Let's copy that one to this one. And there we go. Now we're all lined up. All right. Kamal says, I wanted to buy a blue macaw once. It was so expensive. They are expensive parrots to buy, yeah. Even in Australia where we have them running wild, they're expensive if you want to go into a pet shop and buy one. Nix says, cool, can you give me some feedback on my vegetation? Sure. I started creating foliage for games, so yeah, but don't post links, Nix, in the Twitch chat. Jump on the Phil Does 3D Discord server. Everyone can post links on the Discord, but only subs can post links in Twitch chat, so I think it's exclamation Discord, isn't it? For the link. There we go. Join the Discord server and you can post a link in that. We can give you feedback that way. Nix, okay? On your vegetation? It's the best place for feedback. Will be the Discord server. Bombuki says, those macaws are so lovely. A cafe here had a 2-story central courtyard just for the owners of 2 macaws. Must be nice to have money. Yeah, it must be, isn't it? Oh, thank you. Smurfberry beat me to it. This Discord. Thank you, Smurfberry. Kamal says, thanks to our stupid government, we have economic crises on these days. Imagine that. A macaw is around... Is that... That's not 25,000 USD, is it? Surely not. If it is, then that's insane. Nothing else says wow. Yeah, wow is the word. Jeez. Okay, so yeah, we'll fix up the ground in a minute. Well, probably not next week, the week after. I just want to sort of like gauge whether I want to change anything with regard to the fence line. First things first, I'm going to make sure there are no trees intersecting it. So I'm just going to go around the outside here and check everything. This tree is intersecting it here, so let's move it. The player's actually never going to really be able to get back here anyway. I'm going to block this off because that's the edge of the world. We don't want the player to see that. But I will still make sure that there are no trees going through things that they shouldn't be. Like this one here is probably borderline, so let's move it out. Aside from that, I think we're pretty good. Let's check the inside now. Pretty close with this one. Let's move it in a little bit. I mean, I like having the trees poking through the bars. I think it looks pretty cool. Actually, there's a tree here. Let's just move that in a little bit. Because these are all procedurally generated, when I adjust the landscape, it'll automatically adjust the position of the tree. So I just have to make sure the trees aren't intersecting, and we should be good. That one's close, but I think we should be alright. I think, again, that one's close in the corner, but I think we should be alright. Jump out of landscape mode. Kamal says it's almost 5 AM here. I must go to sleep. Take care, my friends. You too, Kamal. I'm going to finish the stream in another 5 minutes anyway. So I did show your work from the gallery yesterday, Kamal. Oh, Android Lust has got some new work as well. Oh, nice. I'll show that in 2 seconds, actually. Android Lust, another beautiful render. He does some beautiful work. But we loved your work, Kamal, and yeah, you have a good night. I'll see you. Remember, I'm not streaming next week, but I'm back the week after. You get some sleep. 5 AM. Bombuki says I will be that guy. The bottom of the fence seems too clean for the environment. Needs to be dirtied way down. You're saying that the let's get somewhere where the fence actually touches the ground. You're saying that the fence line here is too clean. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's something we could certainly change anyway. We could fix that up. It's not an issue. But you are right. Remind me. On Buki, I'll forget because I get caught up. I get distracted doing something else, and I'll have to come back and change the fence line. But yeah, no, you are right. I generally work that way. Like when we created the interior for the hall section that's going to go behind the Art Nouveau entryway, I made sure that I dirtied that up. I did actually forget about the fence line. So yeah, you are correct. It probably would do with being a little bit dirty along the bases here. But that's something we can certainly fix. Andrew Dust says, take care. Kamal says, mate, be easy, Phil. Wish to see you soon. Me too, Kamal. Smurf says, moss everywhere. Grime, grunge, Smurf mushrooms. Smurf rooms. Von Boogie says, yeah, add 75% grunge. Yeah, look, I don't disagree. I think adding a bit of a grunge line around the bases here would look appropriate. And it's certainly something I will add. Not right now, though. You'll have to remind me because I'll forget. The only other thing I want to bring in here quickly before we look at Android Lust's work is a sign. Actually, I've got to put... there's a lot, actually. We have to add the ivy on the gates, but let me bring this sign in because that's easy. So we're going to put a sign in here, which is... let me do a quick save because I haven't done a save in a while. A no trespassing sign, so I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. And we'll move it over and make sure it's down in the ground. And as far as position goes, because the player will be coming from the path, that should be good. But of course, as players, we're going to completely ignore that and come waltzing straight up to the gate and try and unlock it, because that's just the way it works, isn't it? Oh, Andrew Gus has posted another image. Very nice. So yeah, let's just do a quick save here of everything again. And I'm just going to do a save current level because I always just want to make sure. And let's look at Android Lust's work. Bombuki says not just a ground level fill, the entire stonework would be filthy judging by the age of the surrounding plants. Okay, fine, yes, but again, you'll have to remind me because we're not going to be doing that today. They are actually dirty. They're just not dirty. So they do actually have dirt on them. They're just not filthy. But we can make them filthy for sure. We'll bring them into our substance painter and we'll do an overpaint on them. So that'll be the plan for not next week, the week after when I'm back. But right now, I agree, Bombuki. I think it's a good idea. Yep, for sure. Because it's what I did for the hallway section, which we're going to be tackling after we finish the fence section. But let's look at Android Lust's work right now. So I'm going to copy the link. Because he does beautiful. Microsoft, stop this. Jeez. Every time they update Microsoft Edge, there's always something that gets in the way that they want to annoy me with. I'm going to have to scale out. And I'm just going to copy the link for this one. Really lovely work. I love this. This is great. What are the sprinkles on her face? It's so cool. The hair is beautiful. You do really lovely hair, Android Lust. I love the earrings too. The donut earrings, it looks so cool. Yeah, this is lovely as well. Such lovely work. Beautiful work. You're a master at doing these characters, Android Lust. It's so lovely. The eyes look great. Love it. Love everything about it. I love the quirkiness of the earrings and the sprinkles, and I love the quality of the texturing and the modeling. It just looks beautiful. Really, really lovely work. Lovely work. Let's check the other one out, 'cause this is another render of the same character. Yeah, beautiful. I love the silhouette, the pose. It looks great. Really lovely work. It was your Sunday struggle, Bus. It looks amazing. I love it. I really, really love it. You've done so many characters though that are just really beautiful. As far as modeling, texturing, pardon me, pose, rendering, really, really lovely work. Yeah, I really love it. Euro, hey Euro, it's good to see you, buddy. You're popping in right at the end of the stream. We were talking about 3D printers before, because I think you've got a 3D printer, don't you, Euro? Bombuki says it's freaking adorable. Android Lust says it's Sunday struggle. Bombuki says I predict cheek sprinkles to be hot next year. I love it. I just think it's a beautiful render. It's a lovely character. It's so nicely modeled and textured and rendered. He does hair particularly well. It's just amazing. But even the fur of the coat here is amazing. Really lovely, lovely, lovely work. Smurf says it's almost like Android Lust is a good character artist. I know it is. It's almost like he's a great character. It's not just good, he's great. He's a great character artist. He does such lovely work. Yura says I was playing a game. Yep, got a 3D printer. Yeah, because I can't remember who was talking about the 3D printer. Yeah, we were talking about 3D printers. Because yeah, I said that they were saying that the odor you can get, I guess, from the 3D printing, which I'd never even thought about before. That it could be, you could get a lot of smell in the room from melting the resin or whatever it is. What game are you playing, Euro? Tell us. But yeah, beautiful work, Android Lust. I really love it. You always do such lovely work. So yes, and you aspiring character artists out there, Android Lust is the guy to talk to because he just does amazing work. But and really interesting too. That's what I really like about Android Lust's work. He doesn't do the big boobies, typical type female character that a lot of, because it's usually men, a lot of men design. He does really quirky stuff, and I really like that. It makes it much more interesting to look at. So from a portfolio piece, being a little bit quirky is going to be more memorable than, you know, big titties that you see in every other delinquent male's portfolio. That's my advice to you guys. I mean, look, I don't begrudge you wanting to do big titty girls if you're a character artist. You have at what you want. But from a portfolio standpoint, being a little bit more interesting, a little bit more quirky, a little bit more different is much more memorable. And being memorable is what it's all about when you're trying to get a job and you're looking at hundreds of people's portfolios every day. Yura says, yeah, FGM isn't too bad, depends on the material. Android Lust says, not every 3D printer requires a ventilator, I believe. Euro says, SLA is way more fumey. And Euro's been playing Armor Reforge. I think Sniper Echo has also recently purchased that to play. It's getting a lot of traction. Good old Armor. Euro says, I would have ventilation if doing SLA printing due to the chemicals and resins involved. Yeah, it's something I had never even thought about, that you could have problems with the chemicals and ventilation using a 3D printer. I'd be one of those people that would buy it, stick it in a little room, and, you know, pass out because of the smell or something. I don't know. Having not even thought about it being an issue. But I don't own a 3D printer, so. Lovely work, Android Lust. Thank you for letting me show it on the stream too. We will leave it there though for today, guys and girls. Now, I will not be streaming next week, but I am back the week after. So, no streams next week, but back the week after. We'll pick up where we left off and we'll continue working on the entryway for the House on the Hollow game. And you must remind me too, I must dirty up those fence sections. Print all the things. Yes, that's right, Euro, all the things. You guys have a great weekend. Stay happy, healthy and safe. And hopefully I will see you all again, not next week, the week after. And thanks for hanging out with me today and for being here. I do appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend, and yeah, I'll see you in a week. See you guys.